As I'd already mentioned to you, we have a very interesting lineup of speakers. So I'd like to take advantage of being the moderator and give you the South Indian perspectives before I invite them on to share each of their different perspectives from the regions they represent. To truly understand where we stand from the South Indian perspective, it's important to spend a few minutes and look at the macroeconomic conditions with which the South Indian tea industry operates. See, we are currently in God's own country, the state of Kerala. The two neighboring states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, which border Kerala, and Upasi collectively represents all plantation industries in these three states. See, in 2024, the combined GDP of these three states was $850 billion. So it's close to $1 trillion. By the year 2030-31, this is projected, these three states will have a combined GDP of close to $2 trillion. Tamil Nadu itself is projected to hit $1 trillion by the year 2030-31. So what does... One second. One second. Excuse me, sir. Okay. So what does this mean for the tea industry? See, we are a labor-intensive industry. So when the economy around us grows, the per capita income grows with industrialization. On this graph, you can see what is shown in the middle is the Indian per capita income. You see the growth, the blue, orange, and green lines are the growth that has happened from 2011-12 up to 23-24. So it's growing across the country. So what is seen here, $2,000 per capita income is for the country. So what is to the left of that is Assam and West Bengal, where you can see it's marginally lower than the Indian average. You can see a marked difference when you move to the southern states of Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. For example, in Karnataka, the per capita income of $3,700, which is 75% higher than the Indian average. So it's important to spend a few minutes on this graph. So as the income level goes up, what has happened to us? See, this graph projects what has happened over the last 2 decades. So it not only tells you where we've been heading over the last 2 decades, but you can also extrapolate on where we will be heading in the future. So the orange line, what you see here is our wages. So the wages currently in Kerala, the direct wages are about 495 rupees with the benefits that are statutorily bare minimum to be paid. The wage is close to about 750 to 800 rupees, which is around $900 a day. As I mentioned in my opening remark, this is the highest wages paid by any large tea producing region, which is about $9 a day. Yeah. So this has a direct bearing on the production. The green line you see is the production that has happened over the last 2 decades. So it's about $240 million 240 million kgs has been the production over this 2-decade period. In fact, 2024 we had a production of 226 million kgs. So production has been stagnant, if not coming down. The reason for that is, you can see the area under cultivation also that is here. We peaked in the year 2005 with 1,19,000 hectares. We are currently at about 1,01,000. So area under cultivation has also come down by about 18,000 hectares. This is for various reasons. There's with other land use purposes available and economic viability, the area has come down, but with a lot of new plantations and small growers also coming in, the productivity has gone up, keeping production stagnant. So under those challenging conditions, this is the statistic the South Indian tea industry can be extremely proud of. we only contribute, the one on the left is the production. We only contribute about 17% of the production for the country. In the year 2024, India produced close to about 1,300 million kgs. The South Indian share was only 226 million kgs. So while we contribute only 17%, our export share is 39%. The country exported 256 million kgs last year. So the South India share of that was about 100.6 million kgs. So that is a substantial contribution to the export contribution. So this is extremely important because not only do we export such a large percentage, we have a diverse base markets for exports. We have various markets. So with a lot of geopolitical risks that are now, with tariffs coming in, fortunately, South India has been facing these challenges over the last 2 decades. We've had markets, we were dependent on the Soviet Union. When that breakup took place, we lost that market. Similarly, Iran, Russia, all our big markets have undergone various challenges, but the exporters and the producer exporters here have diversified, they have a diverse range and have met those challenges, continuing to keep a reasonable amount of export share out of production here. One of the main reasons for this export strength is the South Indian teas tick most of the boxes when it comes to export requirements. We have extremely low MRLs. In fact, most of the teas in South India are pesticide free. So that is something we can be proud of. And this is sought after. So from an export perspective, this is not a challenge. And domestically, we are also seeing increased demand that is coming in because of more requirement for compliant teas. We are seeing a lot of demand that is coming in for our teas in the domestic market too. The other big advantage these South Indian teas have they are certified. The South Indian producers are fair trade certified, rainforest certified, trustee certified, among various other certifications that are there, that are required by the market and catering to different parts of the world. There's safe harvest interval that is followed here, and there is traceability for tea. This is not only in the large sector, there's a large portion of the smallholder sector also which is certified for Rainforest Alliance. So it's on all sections of the industry. The teas are very blendable, and as I'd already mentioned to you, these high wages that we pay. So, in spite of these high wages, the per capita income is high, the economy around us is getting highly industrialized. There's a huge shortage of workers that is there in the South Indian tea industry at the moment. So 40 to 50%, in some cases, even more of the workforce are migrant workers. So these are migrant workers that are coming in from other states and other parts of India. So the wages that we pay, even though they're high, they are a good enough incentive for these workers to move thousands of kilometers with their families, to move into our plantations, relocate here and work. So going forward, this is a trend. Only we can expect a larger percentage of our workers coming in from migrant workers. So while India has a GI recognition for 4 regions, that is your Nilgiri Orthodox, your Assam Orthodox, your Darjeeling and Kangra, there are a lot of regions in South India with specific flavor profiles, and they have a very unique terrain, elevation and terroir, which can make unique teas. So I've just listed some of the regions here that are there. See, part of the International Tea Convention, we have our Tiglia competition that is going in, which is structured around these regions, and the teas are evaluated region specific and ranked as for each region. We also, this time, we had announced a specialty tea auction, and I'm happy to tell you that there was a lot of participation. There were a little over 99 entries that came in for that. it just shows that the capability of making specialty teas in South India, each of these teas are extremely unique, that can possibly increase the unit value realization in the export market. So there is a lot of potential to target the export market with these teas. So going forward, there was a lot of points that were mentioned by many of the speakers this morning. I'm also hoping for some more insights we will gain from our speakers this afternoon to be able to strategize and see how we can work with other producers also in our buying community, taking it forward. But one of the requests we had, because exports today has a lot of, it's got this geopolitical risks, it has these tariffs coming in. Mr. Dan Bolton had spoken about that in detail. So it's important that if Kenya is going to get zero tariffs from China, the Indian government too would have to move quickly to get that, because China is a big growing market for black tea. Especially the South Indian teas are very well suited for the Chinese market. So strong brand identity is extremely important. We have these regions, we've got, we will have to market, brand them, and also brand these teas, South Indian teas specifically, in our export markets and domestic market to take it forward and upgrade. Thank you.